let's go right. So hello and welcome to today's video. Today we will go to Zoetermeer, to Hans van Wijk. And Luke, what are we gonna do there? What's the plan?
We are going to do a demo tour, riding on our own instead of in a group, but we're gonna test for me the Honda African Twin. And which bike are you gonna do?
I got the Honda Goldwing. I don't have any experience with the bike. I've seen it once on the motorbeurs in Utrecht. Sat on it, was really comfortable bike, almost like a couch. But yeah, that's a bike I really like to ride at some point. So now I got the opportunity to do so. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's the DCT or the anyway, the dual clutch transmission type of bike. So the semi-automatic bikes, or so you don't have any clutch lever or so you don't have any clutch lever or shifter. I think it's a bit similar to the Livewire I've ridden in from Harley Davidson. But okay, looking forward to that, see how the automatic transmission works. We'll be there in a little bit. So the weather is roughly 20 degrees, slightly clouded. The weather forecast was rain all week, but we're lucky, it's dry. The road's still a little bit wet. But at least it looks a lot better than for the KTM tour we did earlier this summer. Ooh. Here we are at Hans van Wijk. I don't think the bike is back yet. Oh, already see the Goldwing, I think. So. Time to fill in the paperwork and then we go ride. Yes?
Yes, ik ben er klaar voor jou het rondje in je hoofd, hè?
Ja, ongeveer. We gaan wel zien.
Kijk, kom dit. Goed. Zit niet
zo. Honda Goldwing. It's the bagger version. So I put it in sport or tour it is. Let's see where the blinkers are. It is like a major cruiser. I do feel that my boots are a bit too stiff for riding mid controls. It didn't take long to get lost. Let's see how the U-turn is. I have to say, not too shabby for I don't know, 300 plus kg bike. Where I don't have a clutch to help me out.
It's strange to not use a clutch.
Yeah, indeed it is. But it does shift really smooth, I have to say.
Yes, indeed. I drive 50 k an hour and it's already in its 5th gear.
It's in 6th gear at not to mention speed. Wow, but this is smooth. It also has a really, it uses a really calm feel if I'm honest. It doesn't really invite to ride really spirited, this bike. bike. But there's no face cap because I don't have the correct mount or the clamp to attach here. And you have a lot more suspension trouble than I have. Let's put it in sport. Somebody put the heated grips on. Let's see how I can turn it off. Here's a button.
It's green.
You can be ahead as well. Oh, it's a really fun bike. Adjustable windscreen. I would be really spoiled if I would have this bike. Really spoiled.
I think this is a bit more shaking vibrations than on the KTM.
It's both are parallel twins if I'm correct, but this vibrates a lot more, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm just used to my smooth own bike. But indeed with he gets to his 6th gear.
You can also put it in sport mode, see if that's better.
Yes. When we're at the Rotta, then it goes to sport. But the seating position is really good. It's turned up.
Yeah.
I think I can drive longer than this one. It's seating
yeah. Now this one is also really comfortable. There's lots of leg room. Controls are in the correct position. Don't have to stretch them. Maybe a bit low, but you know, on the GS I have my controls pretty high up. I do think I put it back in sport mode for the Rotta. You have a really fancy dashboard.
Yeah. It's the sports stand. I put it on the sports stand and I was surprised by it.
It's still on tour, I think, in the top left. Oh, cyclist on the right. Also, the mirrors are really nice. There's no vibration at all in this bike. It's super smooth. But okay, it's a 6-cylinder boxer engine. Boxer engines are really well balanced. But this is comfy as a couch. You can really sit on this bike for 10-15 hours without a problem. And there's so much stuff. I don't particularly like the center control up here, but okay. And I'm not going into the details of the control and whatsoever because it's just a 45-minute test ride. But the control clusters on each side are really massive. Even so massive that I even had to look where the blinker was. It is a really nice, powerful bike. Lots and lots of torque. Really fun engine.
This one is also very powerful. If I pull the gas, very nice.
Yeah. In terms of suspension, I already had one hump that I hit pretty hard. So suspension is not as great as on the GS, but that's not a surprise. It's a full-on touring bike. I also think it's a really good bike to ride 2-up. When I sat for the first time on a Goldwing, it was on the motorbeurs, or that's actually the only time. So my wife also sat on the pillion seat, and she was quite comfortable, or very comfortable on the bike. But when I would ride this 2-up, I definitely wouldn't ride it in sport mode, because it's way too tempting to be a bit hungry on the gas, or a bit bit eager on the throttle, just because there's so much torque available and so quick. It's a bike, I think it weighs over 350 or 300 pounds. Kilograms. So probably a 600 or 700 pound bike. Put it back in tour. You can do that on the fly. It's a bit more of a relaxed mode. Still more than powerful enough. And Luke, is the sport mode better than the tour mode, or?
Yes, I like the sport mode better, but yeah, the tour is also alright. But yeah, sports is better.
Sports more fun.
Indeed.
But still, the bike, the Goldwing also can produce some pretty decent lean angles. Okay, I'm not riding it too spirited because I really like to keep my driver's license. And the speed limits in the Netherlands are not that high. They're pretty conservative, and it's pretty easy to go over them, especially with a bike like this. But yeah, it's no complaint at all. It also has music, so let's see if I can put that up. Pretty nice as well. Music off. So next challenge for the bike is gonna be, it's not cobblestones.
Nice corner.
No, that will manage fine.
Quite easy.
But this is not nice and smooth tarmac. Usually with the GS, I just blast this bit. But I really like the seating position of this bike as well. Knee angle is pretty relaxed. This is also, good fun. It's also a bike that you can shift manually, but in all honesty, if I would go for a dual clutch transmission bike, I don't think I will ever use these buttons to manually shift. You can, by changing the mode from tour to sport, that would probably suit 95% of the, or maybe even more. Pleasantly surprised. I didn't think this bike would be that smooth, especially because of the weight, but it handles pretty good. So the bike even turns off the engine when you're at the traffic light. Hier is snelweg op. Even in tour mode, just a sliver of throttle is more than enough to get this bike moving. Let's see how it does on the highway. Hé, wat de fuck doe jij daar? And I hit it.
My turning light, but I hit.
Yeah, we are only doing 70, but the wind protection is pretty good. The wind is being thrown over my helmet by quite a bit. The wind protection on the highway is well, excellent. Really nothing you can complain about that part. This bike is definitely a cruiser bike. I think, how many complaints do I have? Maybe 3. One is that it sounds a bit like a vacuum. But yeah, that's quite common with all the new bikes because of the new emission norms in Europe. The other parts, I don't really like this center control. I had one more, I don't know what it was. Oh yeah, that was I think that's the biggest complaint. my feet are actually quite far forward, so when I hit a bump, it's a lot more difficult to get my ass off the seat for a little bit of cushion, or to get a bit of a cushioning effect for my knees. So when it takes more effort, but yeah, it's really nitpicking on the bike. Let's see, cruise control set.
Yeah, that's quite the difference between this one and the one I'm used to on my work class. You need to activate it with a minus instead of the plus.
Yeah.
I was doing it, but how do it get on?
Why doesn't it turn
the
on?
light is turning on, but it won't do anything.
It won't set.
The set is the minus and not the plus. So now I know that it works perfectly.
Cruise control is also pretty nice. Ah, that actually has 7 gears in the bike. Now you actually do need to hold the plus or the minus a little bit to change the speed. Okay, that's something you can use to quite quickly.
Not like this when you can just step and instantly react.
Oh, maybe it's up to me then. Wouldn't be the first time. So at 100k an hour I do feel a little bit of wind buffeting on my arms. But that's it. There's nothing on the helmet. Nothing on the forearms, just a little bit on my upper arm. The cruise control is pretty nice. Pretty convenient. I think you would get used to that really quickly on the bike. Because it's also nice that you can take off your other hand and relax that a little bit. Yeah. Look, no hands! These kind of tours are actually a lot of fun to do. To try out different kind of bikes from different brands. Before last year, before we went to, I think the first one was the Harley Davidson tour, or maybe the one from the BMW was before. Before that I just rented 3 bikes. The one I took my lessons on, a really old, scrappy, really old GS500E from Suzuki. That was my first bike. And my own GS that I currently have. And with these kind of tours, okay, you don't really, it's difficult to really feel how a bike would behave in all kind of different circumstances. But you do get a taste of what's out there in the market, how different types of bike feel, and that kind of stuff, and that's really nice. You do need to pay a bit of attention, because typically these kind of tours, these demo rides, they're filled up quite quickly, so yeah, you need, and it also needs to fit your own scheme or your own agenda. So it takes a bit of effort, you know, to enroll or to enlist, but yeah, to enroll. But it's definitely worth the hassle. I do think in these long sweeping corners, that's really the home turf of the Goldwing. Look at the view. I do occasionally miss the clutch lever. No clutch lever. No, but it's really at ease in these kind of corners. So yeah, conclusion on the bike. Excellent touring bike. Wouldn't hesitate to take my wife on this one, riding 2 up. Sport is a lot of fun, even with the DCT. Just like this. In sport it's a really fun bike, you can really play around with it. Okay, it's probably not as quick on its feet as a bike that weighs half of this, so you cannot compare it to an MT7 or some kind of naked sports bike. For it being a touring bike, it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna make that. Yeah. okay, if I would be riding 2-up, I would probably ride it in the tour mode all day, have a fantastic day. It is more than comfortable enough and powerful enough to take you anywhere 2-up. But there's a big difference between the sport and the tour mode, that's for sure. But I don't think that's a huge problem. It makes the bike a lot easier or a lot more relaxed to ride in a tour mode. It handles well, suspension. It's good, okay, it's not as good as on the GS, so you have to be a bit careful with the speed bump. Wind protection is excellent on the bike. Would I change over Red Rhino for this bike? So without, turn in the keys of Red Rhino and take the keys for this one with me, without any cost. Well, I don't think so. Well, it's no doubt this is a way nicer bike than Red Rhino, my own GS, you know. But for the type of riding we're typically doing, which is a lot of touring, and I also like to venture in off-road in the future a lot more. Well, this bike is not really suited for off-road. Not even the slightest bit. So that would be a problem. And the other downside of this bike is that I probably will have a hard time fitting this in my backyard. There's no doubt this is a way nicer bike than the GS that I have, and it's a lot of fun to ride. So if you have the opportunity to ride one, I wouldn't hesitate a second, for sure not. If I would hire a bike somewhere to just do cruising and this is available, I know that I will probably pick this bike. Oh, that is so much fun, and it's just a sliver of throttle. Anyway, that's it for this first impression video or demo ride video. I hope you liked it. If you want to know anything on the bike, let me know down below in the comments. If you had fun, put a thumbs up and I will see you the next time. Bye! So, I'm not on my own bike, and on the cockpit cam you will see Luca if everything works.
Yes. Testing this bike.
The jet was also on the list, and I forgot to zip up my jacket. It's also nice. So and I haven't ridden Luke's bike either, so that's also good fun. Oh yeah, there's a beep in the...
This one. Nice. How do I switch it off?
Press the cancellation button up with your thumb.
Want some new gloves?
Yeah.
One for the summer, one for the winter.
Ready for the winter, but hopefully...
No. Totally ready. Just have to buy new boots, and then I'm totally ready with my clothing.
Yeah.
Then it's just the bike. And if I have the bike, there will be something new again.
I really have to get used to the fact that this bike is so much lower than the GS. And it's also a lot more hungry for RPMs. I do get why you say it's a bit more of a tight bike than the all-terrains you've tested.
Yeah, it's quite a bit smaller.
The knee angle is a lot more aggressive for us than on the all-terrain bikes.
Heavier than mine.
Yeah.
I have to push it right up through the dirt.
Yeah, and it's also I adjusted the shift lever up a little bit because I really have thick boots. So doesn't make it as convenient to, as on your own bike. And that's I have the opposite. I really have to push down my legs or my feet to get underneath the shift lever and shift. Now, but Luc is now on my bike testing the GS or a GS. If you would get a GS, it would probably be one that's quite a bit younger than this one.
Indeed.
And I'm riding his bike. So after that, on the Touring or the Goldwing, really nice one, really nice bike, good fun. But it's a typical touring bike. It's not really suited for any kind of off-roading. Maybe a little bit of gravel roads would be fine, but that's about it. But it was a lot of fun to ride. And especially say the two modes that I like most is the touring mode was really nice, easy, calm setup, mapping of the bike and the shifting, super smooth. And would be really, say, relaxing to ride in that mode for like 95% of the day. And if you change it to sport mode, it becomes an animal. Really, really nice. And look, what did you think of the Africa Twin versus the 1290 you've ridden in the past?
The automatic gears are really a surprise. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it didn't impress me that much as the KTM.
No.
It's fun, but it was not that extra bit or something, which I definitely feel with the KTM.
Yeah.
I don't think the African Twin is gonna be my bike. I was also thinking, yeah, I tried this and this, but riding itself, although the bike is maybe a bit less, just driving a bike makes me happy. So
yeah, doesn't really matter.
You always get fun on a bike.
No, that's true as well, huh? And indeed, you know, you can pretty much give me any bike. And will put a smile on my face. Even the KTM 390 that I've ridden demo bike is not really powerful, it only has like 35 horsepower or something. But two wheels is just lots of fun. So on that bombshell we end today's video. If you liked it, put a thumbs up and we'll see you the next time. Bye!